Okay, so like pretend it's October and not June right now, and you're preparing for the best time of the year, which is obviously spooky season. And of course, what else are you gonna do but draw your favorite characters in a Halloween AU? Well, that is what is happening today. Hello, everyone. I am Digital Monkey or Michaela, and today I am drawing Diluc from Genshin Impact as a vampire because I can in the middle of June. Okay, let's get into the speed paint. So, if I'm being perfectly honest, the speed paint, like the Kaya one, is actually a bit older. I promise I'm going to start posting recent stuff soon, but I had these in the backlog, and I really like this piece, so anyways, I think this one is from September of 2023, so like if you squint, it's a little bit closer to Halloween. Also, this is a redraw of a Vampire AU Diluc I did in 2022, which was admittedly rough. I will throw it up on the screen so y'all can take a look, but yeah, a lot to unpack there. I think the concept is good, and the sketch was pretty solid when I did it, but the expression and facial proportions turned out really uncanny valley-ish. Oopsies. Me one robot. Anyways, and the clothes don't really read so well as being a suit, just like the dark colors really sort of blended into a clothing lump and not a cool black suit the way I wanted it to be. These things do happen sometimes. Oops, amateur hour. We're all learning at all times, and it was a good learning process, but yeah, it didn't turn out so well. So for this piece, I still wanted to maintain the suit vibe, but I changed the color scheme because I was inspired by the birthday art
Nice.
that MiHoYo posted last year, or was it 2 years ago? I don't know. I'm not up on the MiHoYo lore right now, so don't come for me. I really liked his outfit there, and yeah, the suit that I drew isn't similar at all, but I sort of kept the color scheme. I also wanted to do a hair up, high ponytail moment because I can. And that was really fun to draw. Just my opinion, but high ponytail Diluc is superior to low ponytail, so of course I had to include that. MiHoYo, what were you doing with that choice in the game versus the manga? Can I say manga, a comic? I don't know. Anyways, my main focuses for this piece were 1, do a better job than last year. Yep. And 2, paint readable textures for the clothes. Okay, just kidding, there's 3. And 3, have better facial proportions while still maintaining a similar expression from the previous version. I'd say I did pretty well with all of these goals. Painting with references was really a lifesaver. It's something I don't think I did with the previous version. Like, I think I said this also in the Kaya piece, that maybe I didn't paint with references. But yes, if you are an artist and you are listening to this, paint with references, draw with references, just do it. It's not theft, just do it. A lot of people are like, oh, but you drew that pose from a photo. Come for me. You bet I did. I drew it from a photo. Yes. Anyways, going forward, I think I'm actually going to start making Pinterest boards with my inspirations or references for each speed paint that I'll link in the comment section of my videos. So if y'all are interested in how my little brain works when it comes to illustrating, those will be there. I don't have one for this piece, but I will have some for future pieces, so yeah. I've got some fun character designing videos planned that will definitely have some cool boards, so if you're interested, definitely keep an eye out for those. Back to the piece though, I'd say my main gripe is the values. Just like the last video, I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna talk about values forever now. I think I have a problem with this generally, and I've said it before, but a lot of my pieces turn out looking really desaturated, which sometimes I can fix with color adjustments last minute. But this was not one of those pieces because, yeah, yippee, everything was on one layer, and color adjusting, like the suit and the hair and the cape looked great, but the skin did all sorts of things that were really, really not good. And also doing those like last minute fixes means I'm not learning how to pick good colors from the get-go, so I think I'm going to work on that going forward. One of my problems is that the tablet I use, which is Wacom something. Wacom 1, I think. It's like a screen tablet, so it's screen on the tablet, screen on my computer. It displays colors way more saturated than my computer does. So it looks all nice on my tablet, and I'm like sitting there with my little question mark posture, like looking at my tablet, and then I look up at my computer screen and I'm like, what's this? What's all this then? So oops with that. The other thing that I think is affecting my colors is having a gray background from the beginning, which I've talked about before, but I'm going to talk about it again. I think I watched some tutorials, like art advice, that were like, never use a white background, your colors will be too saturated or something. I honestly don't remember why I started doing it. But that means that I pick colors that look good relative to the gray background, but then look super desaturated relative to white. Also, maybe my choices of shading colors could be more vibrant to offset that. I have a lot of thoughts about this, not sure if any of it is actually correct, but yeah. To talk more about my process, you can see that the shapes I'm making pertaining to folds and clothes are a lot more big and shapy than the ones you see, or the ones you saw if you watched my Kaya speed paint, which, since I've mentioned it several times already, I'll go ahead and link here. A lot of the choices I'm making here have to do with using reference, and it's so surprising, using reference, and having another year of digital painting. Oops. I have a stuffed animal of an egg, which I just dropped. Anyways, I don't know if you heard that. Anyways, and of having another year of digital painting and like doing studies. Just like that sort of experience was really helpful to me. But the suit generally looks so much better than the clothes I've rendered in the past. Even now, I think the shapes look really good. And the key, I've realized, is to make big shapes and focus on those rather than getting lost in the details. Like the little details. I'm a chronic zoom in too far on the canvas and get lost in the tiny details enjoyer. So that's definitely been a helpful realization to me. And a realization that I'm sure surprises absolutely no one. The key to drawing is in fact shapes. Yippee! The other thing that I feel like I solved for myself during this piece was how to render faces better. As I've said before, I'm not really big into line art, but when it comes to the face, I feel like it's, at least for me, still pretty necessary for the eyes, lips, jaw, and nose. I've tried to be more capable about, or be more like considerate about keeping those elements on a separate layer so they don't get muddled into the render. I definitely forget sometimes, which is oopsies, problem for me. But the key for me here was copying and pasting the head into a different part of the canvas, making it bigger, rendering it from there, and then cutting it back, putting it back onto the full body illustration. I'm not sure this voiceover exactly corresponds to the speed paint. So spoilers if that's the case. It's definitely the case. Either way, you'll definitely see me doing this soon in the recording, so get excited for that. Head rendering, woo! To be honest, I like that sort of vague softness to the original sketch of the head that I really wanted to maintain in the render, but somehow couldn't. I still think it turned out looking pretty good, and I'm happy with it, but something about the original lips and eyes was just like chef's kiss, so yeah, immaculate. For now, that's kind of all I want to talk about in regards to the process. So now I'm gonna ramble about Genshin and Halloween because they're on theme for the video. Enjoy this, or don't, I don't know. But if y'all have any questions about anything you see me doing art-wise, please feel free to comment below. I'm kind of worried that talking too much about the process will get boring, so I'm gonna change it up. I have a confession to make, which is that I have never owned Diluc in-game. And I'm not even sure I've ever played him because I don't think he shows up in like the trials for like banners and stuff. I suppose maybe I probably did play him as like in his story quest, but honestly I don't remember it because it's a couple years ago. In a twist which may be relatively unsurprising to anyone given my other video, I am an unapologetic Kaya main. My little four-star guy. Level 90, triple crowned, miss splitter, all the good stuff for my favorite pirate adjacent guy. I also like to run a Geo team, which is Ito, Ningguang, Xiangling, and Bennett. It's not like great for exploration because MiHoYo has been absolutely dogging on Geo in these most recent areas, but it's so fun because of all the buffs my Ito gets from that like sort of playstyle. Yeah, I don't know. I like to run sort of non-standard teams because meta, sorry, I'm gonna say it, meta is for chumps. Or, you know, maybe you want to be really good at the game, but that's not me. I like to have fun. So, I have like a team with Sino as a main, team with like Child, I have a team with Kaya, I have a team with Ito. You can tell that I like the funny men. I'm trying to think of like what other characters I play as, but kind of blanking out right now. I haven't played a lot of the more recent expansions because, you know, life, but I'm a diehard for the OSTs that are everywhere, and the Fontaine stuff has been really hitting different. My favorite OST and favorite area are actually the same place, which is Enkonomiya. I think a lot of people sleep on this area, but the lore, oh man, the lore is immaculate, and the way everything is so like dark and mysterious and fall of civilization-y, it's really a favorite of mine. This might be incorrect lore. I don't know. Don't come for me. But Enkonomiya feels like the closest we've gotten to seeing like Kainria. Also, don't dog on my pronunciation, please. But closest to we've gotten to seeing Kainria and learning more about Dane and Kai's past, which are like peak story as far as I'm concerned. I'm gonna have like one foot in the grave by the time Dane becomes a playable character. But you just know that MiHoYo is gonna drag my ass back to the game just for that, and the Kainria lore. So exciting. If there's one thing I love about a video game, it is really good lore. I don't want to talk too much about Genshin because I'm not sure who finds it interesting, but those are some fun Genshin facts about me. On to another topic, which is Halloween. What are the most outrageous Halloween costumes y'all have ever worn? I feel like I've got some pretty fun ones from when I was like much younger, so I'll tell you all the highlights. One time I was Girahem from Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, and my friend was Link, which is a dynamic I didn't think too hard about at the time, and certainly don't want to unpack now, but like, yeah, looking back, little sus. Another year I was Callie from Splatoon, which was like a good costume I think, but I didn't get ready until super late, so by the time I got to the houses, most of them were like closed. I don't know, everyone was asleep, and the one thing I remember receiving was a potato from this house where the guy literally just opened the door, put it in my bag really fast, and then like shut the door in my face. My child brain was like so confused when that happened. Another notable instance was my costume as the Cheshire Cat, in which I wore a purple plastic bag and did really shitty cat makeup that was honestly like so terrifying. Like I still think back to that and like kind of cringe, but I was a child, so whatever. My artistic skills unfortunately haven't translated into sewing or cosplaying, but I'd like to make a fun Halloween costume in the future now that I have like an actual consciousness. I really do think learning to sew would be super cool. Those are my silly little Halloween costume anecdotes. Hope you enjoyed them. Just in time for this piece to be finished. This is the finished piece. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Happy Halloween in summer, everyone. Maybe some of you are watching this for like near fall, so the timing matches up. But if not, vampire AUs are great for any season, as far as I'm concerned. I hope y'all like it, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for sticking with me and giving this a watch. If you have any comments about this piece, critiques, whatever, they'd be much appreciated. In any case though, thanks for watching. Bye!